please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. So this morning, not knowing what video topic I want to cover, I came across some videos of Omid doing some interviews. These interviews made me feel more happy that I bought the book, because he deserved it. He really worked his butt off. It was because of 1 or 2 interviews of Omid on the day the book came out that I decided to buy it. He did very well in all of the interviews that I saw. I wish my mind was as sharp as him when people throw BS at me and I could identify their BS. It usually takes me a while to realize their BS. So anyway, so here are some of the videos that I saw of Omid.
From the royal family and moved to Los Angeles, written, let's put it gently, from the couple's perspective, but without their active participation. I'm joined now by Omid Scobie, co-author of Finding Freedom. It's an interesting title, isn't it, that you've chosen for this book, Finding Freedom. Why is it called that?
Well, I think when you look at what freedom really means, freedom to express yourself or speak up on anything that you want, that's something that the Sussexes weren't always able to do within the institution of the monarchy. And certainly where we look at where they're at today, talking about systemic racism and gender equity in a way that we hadn't seen them before, it looks like they have found some form of it.
And you began the book a couple of years ago.
Yeah, this really started out as a chronicle of their first year of marriage and their courtship and, of course, those first days with Archie leading up to that tour in southern Africa. And, of course, as time went by, we realised a bigger story was building behind the scenes and increasingly sort of unhappy couple were in front of us. And we found out why that was. You know, it was within the institution of the monarchy that they felt extremely frustrated and under-supported and under-defended from some of the more vicious tabloid attacks too.
I know they've denied it, but did you speak with Harry and Meghan directly?
No, we didn't speak with Harry and Meghan directly. They didn't cooperate with the book, and there's certainly no secret off-the-record conversations that have taken place either. But I think the unique situation that we had here were many of the people in Harry and Meghan's lives felt increasingly frustrated with some of the coverage that they saw on the people that they knew that looked so different on the pages of some sections of the British tabloids. And I think there was this real desire to speak out in defence of the couple, especially when the palace wasn't doing so themselves.
And for a couple that have clearly craved their privacy, they've wanted to keep their private life, their personal life private, I mean, this book is anything but.
Yeah, I think that there are obviously a lot of details in here about the couple, and I really wanted to rehumanize them in a way because it felt like for a long time that we had sort of lost a sense of who they were. They'd become caricatures in certain sections of the press, and I think that this does bring a human quality to the couple again. You know, we have to remember they are a couple that understand the intense interest in their lives, both publicly and privately. You know, only today we saw them confirm to a number of news organizations that they had bought a home in Santa Barbara. So they are willing to share certain details about their lives. I think they're also not afraid to call on the law when they see those lines crossed when it comes to...
For them to then move to Los Angeles, which is the centre of celebrity, the centre of the paparazzi, is slightly strange.
Well, Santa Barbara is actually 100 miles from Los Angeles, so they're not in Los Angeles or part of Hollywood. They're in California.
Yeah, but it's a showbiz place, isn't it?
California is one of the largest states in America, so it's hard to really call it a showbiz place. It is where Meghan's mother lives, and I think for them as a family, picking a place where really they were able to lay their roots and have that support system around them was very important. And of course, when we look at America, it has a huge charitable landscape. And of course, their Archwell organisation, which they'll be launching later in the year, is one of the big driving factors in the work that they're doing.
Yeah, the book says Meghan says, I gave up my entire life for this family. It was her choice to join the royal family, though, wasn't it? She did go in with her eyes open.
Absolutely. And I think that there's also a difference between knowing what you have up ahead of you and actually experiencing it for yourself. And, you know, listen, if there's one thing that we've seen about Meghan, she really does give it her all. She's not a quitter. And I think that it has been this big common misconception that she was the one in the driver's seat for this decision to step away. And I think in reality, when we really look at the information and everything that we already know about Harry, this was a world in which I think he wanted to step away from anyway. And Meghan was someone that simply gave him the support and confidence within that. But I would also argue that if he had said, let's stick it out a few more years, I would imagine she would have done that too.
Will they return to the UK one day? Will Harry want to come back into the royal family at some stage?
I mean, the Queen's made it very clear to Harry and Meghan that the door is always open for them to come back. They're obviously currently in a 12-month probation period that will be discussed next Easter to see whether it is that they would want to come back. I think when we look at them now, though, they seem very forward-focused. They're laying their roots in the US, and I think the UK will play a big role in their lives when it comes to their patronages and, of course, the family they have over here, but not as working members of it.
OK, Omid Scobie, co-author of Finding Freedom. We must leave it there. Thank you very much.
One of the tweets I came across is an LA Times article. I will put the link in the description, and I'm going to try to not read the damn article. I'm going to try to summarize it for you guys, and you guys could check the article yourself and read it. So the LA Times is guessing. Okay, it's guessing that Harry and Meghan bought the Santa Barbara base on a public document. They believe that the Sussex bought a 7-acre property, which was listed last year for about $34 million. And based on tax record, it shows that the 7-acre property was purchased in June of this year for about $14.65 million. Okay, under a limited liability company that was created by the Duchess of Sussex. So the LA Times might be correct. Who knows? So they think that's the property they bought. And based on what was reported, they said that it is the first home for both Harry and Meghan have purchased by themselves. This is the first property they have owned and earned by themselves. And that kind of feeling must be good. And they had plenty of time to enjoy that purchase. You know the feeling when you first buy a property, the happiness you have when they hand you the keys. So it must be good. But one thing I was thinking about when I first saw the article that this is the first home that they bought by themselves, I think on one of my videos, I didn't say it, but I wrote it. And I'm wondering if the place where Meghan was living in Canada when she was filming the Suit TV show, I'm wondering if she owned that property, if it's a condo that she purchased herself. So, or maybe she just rented it. So it was a question that I sort of brought up. I was just curious if it's something she rented or bought, because if she had bought that property in Canada, so that means this property is not the first one she bought, but instead, you could see the difference. A condo and an apartment building and this one that they just bought is completely different. But yeah, it's a nice purchase. So let me continue with the article. So pretty much the property was built in 2003. It is gated from the street. There's a long driveway that leads you to the main house. And the main house contains a billiard game room, a home theater, spa facilities, an elevator, and a gym. 9 bedroom, oh geez, a 2-bedroom guest house, a tea house, a tennis court. When Serena Williams come to visit, she'll be teaching Archie and her daughter when they come to visit. There's a swimming pool and a custom jungle gym and some other things. So the house is pretty decent, if it is the house that they bought. I mean, I wouldn't mind living there, only if I had that kind of money. I could just build it myself. Considering the time we live in now with COVID and the market is not that strong, so from a property that was listed $34 million, last year I think, and they purchased it for about $14.65 million, that's not a bad investment at all, even though I don't have that kind of money. Also, based on the pictures the article shows, if this is the Sussex's property, it's not bad at all. And consider what the size of the property is, 7 acres. That's a pretty decent size. And the main house is about 12.5 or 14.5? Yeah, I think it's 12,500 square feet and 2-bedroom guest house. Really not a bad deal at all. When I think of the guest house, I'm thinking of Miss Doria, who can stay in her own area without bothering the Sussex's space, and she can have Archie anytime she wants. And that little guy could stay with her anytime, and he can run around freely. So that's the article in a nutshell. So check the link in the description if you want to read the article. They say more stuff, but this is the only things that I feel comfortable, I think is important. So I hope you like it. By the way, did you guys see the video I put out yesterday? I think I called it Friends You Keep. I hope you like it because this morning I got up and I saw some mistakes, even though I thought I fixed it, and my laptop was giving me some issues. So it's a minor mistake, but you know, especially when you know you fixed it and then it didn't, and I was getting tired. I wanted to go to bed, so I left it after I fixed it, thinking it was fixed. But this morning I saw it. It wasn't. It didn't fix all of it. Oh well, it was a spur of the moment video. I hope you liked it anyway. So please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.